Hi, everybody. Welcome to day one, week one of our first unit together, New York City, a city of immigrants. Really excited to begin with you guys. So let's start by talking about the 5 moments of today's lesson. The first will be our opening, our do now activity. Then we will do our before reading activity. We're going to watch a video and answer some questions about it. Then we are going to read a text together, going into the text. Then we have our after reading activity involving this map. And then finally, our closing and connecting. Teachers, this is where you can choose from this menu of activities to decide what's going to work best for you and for your students to wrap up and think about what you have learned today. And remember, you can always come back to this slide, the 5 moments of the lesson. This outlines the flow of the lesson. And if you look below where it says note for teachers, you can pull this up and you get some extra details, tips, and suggestions on how to implement. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, our unit is New York City, a city of immigrants. People have been coming to New York for hundreds of years and for many different reasons. The reasons can be really similar or they can be very different. So what we're doing over the next few weeks is we're listening to these stories and learning about why people come to New York. Week 1 is all about the Wong family, so we're going to meet them today. And our essential question is, how can objects represent our stories and our values? This word object, not sure if we all know exactly what that means. So one strategy I use is I might go to Google. There's an unfamiliar word, search it up, and look at these images to kind of understand better. So we can see here an object is a thing. It can be very small. It can be big. It can be very special, or it could be very ordinary and unspecial. We see here it can also be food, which is something that we'll see today with the Wong family. Okay, so going back to our lesson, hopefully we understand more this word object. How can objects represent our stories and our values? The title of our text is Getting Here. And at this point, could somebody please read the lesson objectives below in this pink box? Teachers, you can pause this video while students have a moment to respond and to read these out loud. Okay, thanks for reading those. The first one, to identify the central ideas of a text and analyze their development. The second one, to acquire new academic words and phrases for practice in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So the first one, to find those big, main, important ideas in your text and see how they're growing in the text. And then to learn new words in English to use in our listening, our speaking, our writing, and our reading. Here is our opening do now activity. So we're looking at this image here. Okay, right on the right. And we are wondering, thinking, and seeing. What do you see? What do you think? What do you wonder? Here in your bright green box, you have some suggestions of how you could start your response. In the image, I see, I think that, one thing I wonder is. Okay. Here are some examples to help us better understand how we could do this. In the image, I see people holding American flags. So you see here, 1, 2, 3, these small American flags being held up. I think that these people are from different families. Looking at this, I think these are different families. So one thing I wonder is, how did these families meet? How do they know each other? Okay. So now you're going to do your own see, think, and wonder. Teachers, you can pause this video again and give students a chance to respond in the chat, or if you're using a Google Doc, a Google Slide, whatever, you can put a link to that. Again, in the green, you're going to have your suggestions of how to respond. Okay, thank you guys for your responses. Let's go into our before reading activity. So like I said earlier, we're watching a video today about the Wongs. Teachers, let me show you. Here is the link to it. It's going to take you to the Tenement Museum's webpage, and you're going to scroll down, and the video will start automatically. It's right here. Subtitles will be at the bottom, and one tip is to play the video multiple times so that the students have numerous chances to read the subtitles and to listen to the story. So you'll find that video here. Pause this video while you guys go to the Tenement Museum's webpage and watch the video about the Wong family. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video and meeting the Wongs for the first time. Let's talk about what we learned about them. So the Wongs said that they moved to New York City for a better life. So our question is, what are some other reasons that people might move or migrate? So we're going to think about this. I'll share from my family. My father's parents came to New York because there was a war in their country. They didn't want to live in a country where a war was happening. So one possible reason, there was war in their home countries. So you'll have a chance now to think about this question, think about your response. What are some other reasons that people might move or migrate? And teachers, you can here pause and give the opportunity for students to respond and discuss. Okay, thanks again for your responses. Going to this next question about the Wongs. What was Mrs. Wong's reason for bringing moon cakes from China to New York? Again, this word moon cake, not sure if we all know exactly what that means. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my strategy, something that we might not know. Let's Google it. So here we can see moon cakes are they're just small cakes. They usually have decoration on top, and they're eaten in China for a special holiday called the Mid-Autumn Festival. My mom's family is from Korea. We don't eat mooncakes. That's mostly eaten in China. We do celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival, so it's a very special time. Okay, so now hopefully we understand more what a mooncake is. Small little cakes, little desserts. Okay, so thinking again, what was Mrs. Wong's reason for bringing these mooncakes from China to New York? So let's go ahead and respond. You can use this sentence starter if it helps you. Mrs. Wong brought the mooncakes because. Okay, so pause this video and take a few minutes to respond. Why did she bring these mooncakes? Okay, thanks for responding. So now that we've thought about this video, we're going to get ready to go into the text. So first, we're going to think about the purpose for reading today. Our purpose is reading the Wong's immigration story to identify why they moved to New York City and also what they carried with them, what they brought with them. Okay, so again, we're identifying why they moved to New York City and what they carried with them. In the bottom right, you're going to find our academic vocabulary. These are our new words in English that we're going to learn and try to use in our speaking and writing. Before we start, you can see that there's a link for these words. It'll take you to a definition. The first one, advocate, or advocate. So let's read the definition. An advocate is someone who supports a cause, like an advocate for outdoor recess. Okay, so an advocate is a person who believes in something and will fight for it. Will fight for it because they think that it's right. Okay, advocate is also a verb meaning to speak in favor of. So you can advocate for outdoor recess. You can fight for outdoor recess. You can advocate for it. Our second word, also linked, is diverse. Diverse. A diverse group is made up of people or things that are very different from each other. Okay, So now that we've had a chance to look at those words, let's go ahead and get into the text. Teachers, here's a link so you can see where you can find the text. Okay, and let's start reading.